Hey everyone, it's Taryn. I am coming today to do a watercolor door that is inspired from a sermon we had yesterday at church. And the passage is in Genesis. It is Noah's Ark and how the doors are closed, and unfortunately it's too late for everyone else who was not following Christ. And they unfortunately will drown and die because of the floods. So I know that's not like a really happy subject to journal, but it was really powerful in the message, and I really wanted to remember it. So I had created a template behind it in the afternoon because I knew with kids going to bed, things get crazy, and then I don't have as much time, so I wanted to do that. So I just looked up elaborate doors on Google and just looked at different doors and decided to kind of make my own template. So I used that behind, and I don't know if you saw, but I was tapping the washi tape on my hand to try to get it sounds disgusting, but kind of dirty and less sticky, so that when I rip the washi tape up, it doesn't rip my page as well. So here I am. I'm going to be using my Kuretake Gonzai Tambi watercolors, and I love these watercolors, like I've said before. The only thing is, for this specific entry, there's only one brown in the set, and it's kind of like a reddish brown. It's not what I think of as brown. So I'm actually going to be mixing colors together to get more of a brown color and then a lighter-ish yellowish brown to get different colors for that wood. So I just want to talk real quick about why I'm doing this passage. As a church, we've been going through 1 Thessalonians, and this past week we were starting 1 Thessalonians 5, which is talking about being watchful and ready and sober and ready for the Lord to come back at any time. And many of you know the verses in Matthew 24, verses 37 through 39, and it says, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." And so these verses are just talking about how it could happen at any time, and no one knows exactly when. And so going to that, our pastor had talked about how it was in the days of Noah, how they were not following Christ. And he was talking about the fathers had probably brought their families to watch Noah build the ark and mock him and make fun of him and his family. And probably as a daily, fun thing to do, they would think. But when those first drops of rain fell, they realized their mistake. And the fathers probably ran with their families over to the ark, and they pounded on the doors and pounded on the walls. But the doors were already closed to the ark. It was too late for them. They had made a huge mistake, obviously. It cost them their lives, and even more than that. And so what I'm going to be writing on this page is, it says, "There's a day when the door will be shut and it's too late. So be ready and watchful." And our pastor was talking also about how as the floods started to rise and they're pounding on the door, that their fathers are probably lifting their children up, higher and higher as the floods are rising, and they know that they're all going to die and drown, and it's just too late. And so it really brought tears to my eyes, thinking of all the people in our world where it's going to be too late, and how we have to prepare ourselves and our family and the ones around us, everyone. We have to preach the gospel to everyone, and we have to be ready. We have to be watchful. So it was just a really powerful sermon, and I definitely have to bring tissues to church because I can almost never make it through a sermon without crying. So Anyways, though, as you can see here, I'm kind of going over the whole door with the reddish brown color again, because I have decided I do not like how my door has turned out. I don't like all the different colors, or the 3 different colors. I don't like how black, the brownish black is supposed to be. I don't like how it looks, so I'm just kind of going over it with the same reddish brown to kind of give it at least the same tone. So it kind of looks like he might have used the same kind of tree, maybe-ish. So I'm going and covering all this, and I'm using my aqua brush again, which I love. And I'm just going to try my very hardest not to get into those little squares. I mean, painting those black. And I had debated putting copper foil on, which I kind of want to still try to do. But I always do something that takes it too far. Like, I just go that one step further and it just doesn't turn out right. It just completely ruins it. So I'm really trying to refrain from doing that and holding back and not going crazy on stuff. So I still haven't done it yet, and I don't think I will. But it would be a cool idea if you wanted to do it yourself. So in other news, we are heading up to New England, my family and I, for the summer to be around family. And I'm going to be helping my dad in the kitchen at a Christian camp. He's the chef there and has been for quite a number of years, over 20 years. And I have some experience of my own in the kitchen, so I will be helping him and hopefully teaching my kiddos how to swim in the lake there. And then when we get back, I really want to start a ladies' Bible study, or not Bible study, sorry, Bible journaling group. And it's always just fun when you fellowship together and get in God's Word. And I would really love to just start that. So I am using napkins here or paper towel to kind of sop up some of the extra watercolor, and so you can still see the design that I had made in there with my Micron pen, and just making it a little lighter to match the embellishments on the side. And then pretty soon I'm going to just be jumping into the lettering, and I didn't want to bore you with all the lettering because it takes forever. So I started off writing it with pencil, as I usually do. I'm really particular about spacing, although sometimes spacing doesn't turn out the way I want, but it's okay. So I am using my Tombow pens that I'll link below again, and I'm using the soft tip one. I am still getting used to these. Usually I just do faux calligraphy, where you write it and then you make all your downstrokes heavier or thicker. And so I'm really still getting used to these calligraphy pens, but I'll show you the end result. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out with me today. I hope to bring you new videos soon, and I just so appreciate you all for watching. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.